going to kill Shadowblade mid. Like, there's nothing can happen there. But they're not going to send a Luna bottom to defend and help out a Bubbles. That's just a waste of resource. So that's going to be, yeah, I said it before, but their picks were fine. I'm going to take their picks any day of the week. We just needed to switch it.
Well, game number 2, it is upon us, so we'll see how the lane decisions are as well as the hero picks are for both of these teams. Let's take a look and see what's going on. So far, we do have the blind bans taking place. I actually just cleared my chat, but we had Warbeast and Jeremiah blind banned by TteS Sports, and then Tundra and Pebbles taken care of from VtrL over there. So again, you look at these blind bans, really nothing too much to talk about. I mean, the Warbeast even happening in the first game. Obviously, you're going up against Brized. You know, that's a very, very worthy blind ban here against a team like that. So, locking phase still yet to happen. TteS Sports using a bit of time here. No extra time just yet, but not going too quickly as far as things go. But, yeah, again, very strong lineups really from both sides. Somewhat more risky even on TteS Sports' side, but, again, that paid off in the end as with their lane setups and just to how aggressive they ultimately played because of the lineup that they had, and it worked out. So the locking phase starting, though. Magnus to start things off, actually, from TteS Sports. And there you go, Aluna and Shadowblade once again from VtrL. So they're still confident that they can make something work with the Shadowblade, perhaps.
Does lack early game potential. He is not an early game hero. He takes a lot to get going, and that's why I would rather have something with a more reliable stun in the lane that's more, or that something that's a hero that's more early game to get that early game fire. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Now Morlock's coming out, Glacius and Wretched Cat. These are very TteS Sports style blocks as far as the mag. And one Morlock available for VtrL. One thing I am interested in is that no junglers yet have been banned or locked. I should say Warbeast is banned.
Yeah, well.
That's something we've seen normally just with the VtrL. Complexity does run him very well as well. But, yeah, I'm talking about the Tempest, the Paris, the Ophelia. Now, VtrL is locked. That's a very VtrL style hero.
Huh.
Seems to roam around with him very effectively.
Yeah, giving themselves a couple options, even you can say. What is it going to be, that Shadowblade, or is it going to be that Cthulhu over here for VtrL? And those are two heroes. Now, granted, Cthulhu definitely can be played by TteS Sports. They have shown that they can play him as well. But you know, Shadowblade really, Bryce is the only player right now in the competitive scene that has shown that he actually can play him somewhat effectively. So you could definitely consider that a solid lock because of that. But the banning phase starting now, you mentioned no, again, jungle. I mean, Cthulhu, it's like, I don't know if I'd really classify him as a jungle. Granted, Bryce does run him as a roaming jungle quite a bit, so I guess in that sense he kind of can. But speaking of jungle, Armadon the first ban actually, but then there's the Ophelia ban taken care of by VtrL. Don't want to let White Talibah play Ophelia, and that's very good logic right there, because that can usually win games for TteS Sports. Dark Liddy, followed by Wild Soul once again, just like last game. And now waiting on the final two bans here. So, yeah, can't wait, man. I really can't wait to see what happens going to game number 2. You got, if you're VtrL, like we were stating, you really cannot let that game 1 bother you. You know, maybe whether or not they agree with us in terms of their mistakes. I mean, obviously, just something went wrong there in that game, whatever it was. But you know what? It happened. Let's move on. Let's go to game 2 here. They've beaten TteS Sports even in the group stages. I mean, they can definitely beat them. So, you know, get your composure, make something happen here in game 2.
A lot of quick 1-0 victories like that kind of propel a team into a very, very quick 2-0 because teams get demoralized and just not encouraged. So I really hope that doesn't happen. Specifically, like Play. I want to talk about Play because that's a hero that's very, very good, and I just had a feeling that they're going to attribute some of their failure that last game to a Play by pick or a certain pick here and there. When it really was their picks were fine, it was just the laning phase. So I would love to still see a Blade Rider or Bubbles. Bubbles is actually optimal because, for a reason, Bubbles is just pretty much the best suicide hero in the game.
Yeah.
He offers so much with very little farm because his spells are just as effective without farm. So he's very good, and he's actually unbanned. So I'm curious to see what the does here.
Yeah, I would think, definitely picking up Bubbles here, and obviously it completely depends on how they're gonna strategize things for later on, but. You could go something like a Bubbles, and then if you want to go Shadowblade, you could eventually get the Empath. You don't necessarily need to do that here, but yeah, so obviously options here for VtrL, but the Bubbles as one of their 2 picks here Wouldn't be surprised to see that. You know, a hero though that I would like to start seeing more of that solo role. You know, either a Chipper or Bombardier, two heroes that a lot of burst damage from those heroes, but unfortunately we just don't really see them too much. You made mention, I think it was even yesterday, we did see Bombardier got some buffs, so maybe. But there you go, actually. Bubbles and Fade are the two follow-up picks here for VtrL now.
I like that. I mean, Fade's very, very strong, and then you got a solo suicide as Bubbles. I just don't know. I don't really see VtrL do it that often, to be honest. I don't see them A, run Bubbles as suicide, and B, run Fade very often. So I feel like they're picking them because they're like, hey, I hear these heroes are good. Let's try them out. Rather than we know exactly how to execute it. I hope they do, but we'll just have to wait and see. Torture now picked up along the Blade Rider. That's a lot of team fight right there. Not the biggest late game potential, but tons of team fight.
Yeah, you're right, though. Not the greatest late game potential, and you do look at that hero pool. I mean, other than Shadowblade, I mean, sure, depending on if you want to run a Luna in that style, but, I mean, Wretched actually does have her potential to be powerful in that later game stage if she gets the farm necessary, but there isn't that go-to carry. So TT Esports clearly making a point that they're not going to go with the Draconis, the Silhouette, the Mage Bane, or Dark Lady, which obviously two of those banned, but still, you get my point there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects TT Esports and their strategy. But again, though, that first game, actually, now that I think about it, they didn't really have a hard carry that first game either. I mean, they did a Valkyrie, but not so much. But there you go, Silhouette. As your hand goes in the air, you're like, yes! That's exactly what they wanted. So, again, just like the first game, seems like you like VtrL's lineup so far.
Yeah, I was just thinking there, and actually Magnus there. A Luna Glacius should be picked, or even, I do know that they love to run a Roman Cthulhu line. That would work too, but I really think a Luna Glacius would be perfect here. They could start out with a tri-lane, and they can roam mid to help the Fade if he needs it, then they have a suicide bubble, Silhouette's going to free farm. It just, everything would work out perfect. So, now again, Emperor loves to play that Cthulhu font, and that could work out just as well. Yeah, Cthulhu font Luna, I like that just as well. Actually, Glacius would be a little bit better, specifically against Magnus, that Ice Imprisonment is very, very good against Magnus. But Aluna's still very, very strong. Aluna can roam around, I think, a little bit better than Glacius. But we'll see. We'll see. I really, really like their lineup yet again. Where they can go with T-Sports is now they have a very strong lineup of their own. They have lots of stuns.
They have lots of stuns, lots of snares, and huge, like early to mid team fight potential. Very, very huge. So if VtrL is able to keep the lanes passively and not lose too badly in the early game, then they'll be just fine.
Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, look at TT Esports' lineup. That is mid-game written all over. Early to mid-game, if they can get control of this game, and this is kind of that term that you used, this all-in strategy that we talk about. Apparently, I am just getting word. Apparently, Tralfamador was mute this whole time.
You guys missed my come-out speech. I came out of the closet, and you missed it.
You know what? But so now you'll have no clue what he actually said right there. But no, but that's kind of funny. But so to kind of reiterate, though, it sounds like that you're very happy about the Hellborn team's lineup. VtrL and how they ended up finishing pick, but you're also making the point that TT Esports, albeit not really the late game lineup by any means, but they are just crazy team fight potential. Excellent team from that early to mid game stage. Once again for VtrL, it's going to come down to the laning phase and how they play this out. First game, maybe not as strong as we wanted it to be. This game, we'll see how it works.
I love Zed Pro. I love him. But first of all, I wanted to. I gotta tell him. Yeah, I heard. But I really love that he used Shell Strip just constantly to get the ward down immediately. Now he's gonna run back and regen. Oh,
wow!
I've actually thought about doing that, and what did I do before? I actually
very quick.
I found this out. I think it's exclusive to Bubbles unless they fixed it. I remember because I was playing with Moon in that team. And I bought boots and did the same exact thing, but when you use the spell, it actually made it so you could not sell your boots back. And that was just exclusive to Bubbles at the time, because I know with heroes like Shadowblade, for example, you can actually use your spells, or you can buy items, use your spells, and then resell them for the full price, but you couldn't do it for Bubbles for some reason. I don't know if that's still the case. I think they fixed it. But for whatever reason, I tried it, but I love what he did. He got down there, placed the ward so quickly, and was able to get back and regen. So I love that. Now, they actually had, they had their lane set up exactly like they wanted to. If you missed it, well, obviously you missed it. But I said I really, really like VtrL's lineup. I love how they picked Silhouette there towards the end. And as long as they don't do any kind of massive feeding early on, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, again, you look at this Legion lineup. This is not a lineup that will compete going into the late game stage. This is a lineup that is built around getting a great start in the laning phase and then working their way into the mid game because of their team fight synergy and just taking over from there. So will TteS Sports be able to pull that off, or can VtrL control the game enough, be fine in the lanes, not give up too many kills, and then take it into that mid to later game stage is the big question here. So we'll see how that plays out. As you mentioned, though, the laning phase has started, of course. Yeah, that was some interesting play there by ZePro and Bubbles, getting the ward down there. I mean, that was probably one of the quickest ward of sight placements I've ever seen. When you think, and it makes sense, of course, with that shell surf ability, using it twice right there. So very well played by ZePro and getting that ward of sight down ASAP. Middle lane matchup, Moraxis Glacius against the solo Fade. We do see an adjustment coming out already. Yeah, it looks like Aluna is starting to head down here to the bottom lane. You got Silhouette versus a Plague Rider up here. That is going to leave her by herself, of course. Granted, Cthulhu Font kind of roaming around in the jungle. This is what Bryce, a.k.a. Emperor, does on this hero. So obviously kind of a pseudo dual lane with that said, but Aluna is going to eventually make her way to the middle lane and help out this Fade a little bit, as well as harass the Glacius Moraxis combination. In fact, Glacius needs to be a little bit careful not to overextend too much right there. He is going to be fine. As Aluna joins the party, Burning Shadows will hit, though. The power throw on top, and they get Glacius dropped about half life. So they're going to force some regen coming out. Now Cthulhu Font coming to the middle lane. We'll see if they're able to set something up here, or if not.
Yeah, I love the response there coming out from Aluna. That's going to do just fine. Actually, I agree with you. I believe they could have gotten a kill there if he had stunned a little bit early. The stun coming out from Fade, actually, but he's getting turned on. A lot of damage, though, coming out from Bryce with a great stun. Did so much damage. Aluna has one more power throw in about 3 seconds, but White there playing Glacius is going to quickly help out up. So, yeah, that'll be just fine, as well as Fade uses the health potion as well. So, yeah, that was very, very close. Deaths almost on both sides. That Fade actually dropped much lower than I thought she was going to.
Yeah.
But good response, good roam coming out from Bryce, or Emperor, as we always see him do on this Cthulhu Font. But he's just going to go back to the jungle. He gives himself some consumables from the chicken, and is just going to... That tells me he's still going to roam around. You know, a lot of times we see elephants go this early Helm of the Black Legion in the jungle, and I hate it. It just does not work. He doesn't farm quickly enough to actually do that.
Yeah.
So...
Glacius with an invisibility ring. This could actually get pretty dangerous here for the Hellborn team if they, mess up on their positioning a little bit, thinking that Glacius is MIA. But for now, they're okay. Something I wanted to mention, though, look at this bottom lane. And I find it a little bit funny. Obviously, it kind of makes sense at the same time. But, middle lane, actually, the Hellborn team's going to jump Moraxis. That Cthulhu Font triple. Yes, it will hit Moraxis. Moraxis out a lot of trouble. The power throw is on top of that. The couple final auto attacks. Moraxis spamming those bottle charges. Slicks may actually survive because that it looks like he is. Great job by Slicks right there, timing those bottle charges, and he stays alive in the end. So, again, excellent play on his part, as we are still without a Bloodless kill now. But back to the bottom lane, Magnus is actually farming, being played by Leon Black here, while pure babysit support coming out from Torturer. So, is that something you would expect down here with this matchup?
Yeah, absolutely. I really don't like it the other way around. I mean, it just doesn't make sense if you really think about it. If you're having farm come out on the ranged hero, and you can't really have a melee hero sit back there and harass.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work out. So, not to mention, I just think Magnus is a hero that really benefits from farm more than like a Torturer or something like that, or a Luna. So, lots of actually damage coming out. They're exchanging a lot of hits down here between ZePro and Riser, and definitely Riser has the upper edge there. As he is up one level. But, yeah, Bubbles is really struggling down here, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's not like he can really do anything. Top lane, this is why I love Plague Rider so much, is he able to get at least levels. You know, while he's not getting that much farm, only 4 CS, he's still getting levels, and he's denying, some creeps from Silhouette. So that's really, really good. Now, Silhouette is a good hero against Plague. He is one of those heroes that does actually beat Plague, in my opinion, especially in the short lane. If it was the other way around, if it was, Suicide Silhouette against Plague Rider in a short lane, I would definitely give the edge to Plague. But in this instance, he should do okay.
Yeah, we do see so far about 225 gold per minute early on for Silhouette. She is farming currently a 16-7 creep score, so again, not too bad. But at the same time, Magnus down here. I mean, Magnus is just doing superb down here when it comes to creep farm. 27-20. And that just keeps adding up. He is not going Volcanic Touch here to go in the Lava Search Steam Bath build early on. Middle lane looks like there's a little bit of harassment, but not nearly enough to make anything happen. Bubbles, he's actually going to continue to stack the Ancients over here. He is still level 1, but hey, you might as well make yourself useful, right? So he's going to make some triple stack Ancients happen. I don't think they're going to be doing those anytime in the near future, but hey, getting those ready for probably eventually Silhouette or even Cthulhu Font to kind of come over and make something happen. So it seems like, though, right now our Legion side perhaps a slight advantage currently with the way this game is going, because not only is Magnus farming so well, but even Moraxis being played by Slicks, able to not only survive, but his creep farm is also up there at 23-5 currently. So looking pretty good, and some early portal keys on this Legion team. Again, that's going to be the name of the game for them, getting those early portal keys, playing aggressive with them, and just getting a snowballing start almost going between Magnus and Moraxis especially. So we'll see if they can make that happen. And how TTE Esports is able to respond to that, or excuse me, VtrL. And you definitely got to think Silhouette with her just kind of farming is going to be a big key. That Moraxis in the middle lane. Trample going to hit on top of that. There's a chain reactions coming out, trying to keep him alive. The stomp on top of that, and yes, Moraxis will barely survive. There's a turnaround on the fade. What timing from Torture right there coming in, and the Bloodlust kill going out in favor of TTE Esports.
Oh, that was so close. Slicks was able to get away, but Moraxis is still tanky. That's the thing that I love about Moraxis mid. He's just a strength hero that's quite tanky with a melee stun. And actually, Cthulhufont's up here. He's going to steal a double damage rune. Torture trying to pursue him, but he's not going to be able to. Yeah, I saw that coming out the whole time. Torture just sitting there. I was thinking, did Bubbles give word? And actually, Bubbles is in a lot of trouble too. I'm pretty sure. Oh, Zepbro doing a little bit of joking, and he actually has the portal. Oh, really well job. Really good job there.
Wow.
And well done by Leon Black to understand that he couldn't really find him. He was getting juiced too hard, and he uses the Steam Bath that he actually did level, which I thought was kind of questionable at first, but it did pay off right now. So really well played there by Leon Black.
Yeah, that was. I was a little bit surprised that even happened because I was watching Bubbles. I thought it was going to be able to Joseph away, but no, he did not have enough mana. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Silhouette in a lot of trouble using the Plague Goo against him. He's going to try to juke away right here, and it looks like he barely survived. Wow, that was a good chance from WTF right there. Again, playing that Plague Rider, almost getting a kill onto Silhouette, but Silhouette survives, but now she will have to run all the way back to base to get her regen. So even though she didn't get the kill at the top lane in Plague Rider, still works out fairly well. Middle lane, Fake getting locked down, chain reactions to follow up the Quake stun. In comes Glacius, nice Luna stun though, the Burning Shadows on top of that, going to be fine for now. What a trample from Cthulhuphon, his two heroes, including Glacius, and Glacius will end up falling. Very good job by Emperor right there, and they're going to pursue a little bit, but not too much. So it ends up only being the one kill happening. But yeah, that was great timing by Cthulhuphon. This middle lane especially, man. I mean, both teams keep on reacting to one another.
It's violent there in the mid lane.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I wanted VtrL to do last game. Actually, the stun coming out, but Slick's able to activate that ultimate right before it hits. He's actually going to pursue the Fade here. He gets a couple axes hit, but the ultimate ultimately will get wasted. But it was a very, very good response from him coming out. Leon Black applying so much pressure to this Bubbles. He is 5 levels higher with those Ghost Marches, so he's able to do so. But this is the same exact setup last game. Bubbles was in the long lane on the Hellborn, except this game, what's different? Well, you have a double stun combination coming out from Legion, so Bubbles cannot get farm, whereas last time it was Bubbles against no stuns, really. And Bubbles was able to get lots of farm, and actually it was Riser playing that. I was able to roam around with an early level 6. So you just see here how important the laning phase is.
Yeah. And, as you talked about, Magnus not only has Ghost Marches early on, but he already has nearly another 1,700 gold saved up. So he very likely is pulling up for a very quick portal key, and that is a little bit interesting. Again, you don't have the biggest mana pool early on a hero like Magnus, similar to a hero like Pebbles, especially going those Ghost Marchers over Steam Boots. So I mean, what do you make? Are you fine with him going the right away portal key despite that mana pool?
Something that B-Kid does that I actually really like is he goes, not necessarily Ghost Marchers, he changes boots depending on who he's playing up against, but he goes for actually a Ring of Sorcery on Magnus before him because he does appreciate that, the fact that a larger mana pool is very, very useful on a hero like Magnus so that you can stay in a team fight longer. It's not just, I'm going to blink and stun, well, there I've expended everything. It's, I'm going to blink and stun, Steam Bath, wait. And actually, a lot of initiation coming out of Torture, he just gets melted there. Good initiation coming out from actually Mikey setting up that stun from the left in the fog there. So well played by him. But yeah, I like the extra mana on Magnus because, like I said, once you blink in, maybe use a eruption spell, blink in, you don't expend everything. You're still able to fight after you use your initial spells.
Now you see Fade right there in the middle lane applying a little bit of harassment to Moraxis, but Moraxis is going to be more than fine. But yeah, that was also great patience there from VtrL. Like, they were waiting on that tower for a good 30 seconds, just waiting for the overcommitment from TTE Esports, and they got it from Torture. So definitely, again, great patience, setting up the kill on a Torture right there. Cthulhuphon happening to have both of the kills here. Again, Emperor playing that Cthulhuphon, a.k.a. Bryce for VtrL. Top lane, Zaxarok on Silhouette. How's he been doing? I mean, right now farming 250 gold per minute. So again, he's actually been doing a fairly good job. A lot of denies coming out from Plaguewater once again, as you would expect. But once again, though, here we go. Going to tree grapple away, and yes, that's going to be enough to survive. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, another kill happening. This time on a Magnus, actually, as Bubbles, Cthulhu Font, and Fade all are able to come together. Fade coming in with their ultimate to set up that kill. So not only a great escape at the top lane, but an excellent kill at the bottom lane. Plaguewater now 2 Plagueus, resulting in 0 kills here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for Silhouette, like it's not really his fault. He's taking a lot of pressure from this Plague, and that's why I love this Plague pickup. It's so strong against solo heroes. And while Aluna did start off giving him a little support here, it wasn't long enough to give Silhouette that extreme edge to actually fend off the Plague Rider. Now bottom, I just loved how Bryce plays with Cthulhu Font, and actually Slicks is. Oh, never mind. I thought he ulted. Some weird sound things happening in my
all the illusions and everything.
Yeah. But I just really like the way that Bryce plays this Cthulhu Font. He's very roam heavy. He does not farm with him. He doesn't go that early Helm of the Black Legion. And I think that's definitely the right route to go.
Yeah. Now, Magnus, obviously, with him getting killed right there, that did slow him down a little bit from getting the portal key. But he is going to go to the side shop right here, and I'm guessing, yeah, there we go. He picks it up. So now he has that. Bubbles needs to be very careful and not to, I mean, you can't blame him, obviously, not even realizing that Magnus has a portal key. In fact, there we go. Magnus ports in, and, well, Bubbles is dead. So that's pretty much expected, but that's the surprise factor of the portal key. He had no clue to expect that, and all of a sudden, before he knows it, he's getting blinked on, a maximum range stun for Magnus, and he's dead. So nothing, like I said, really Zepro could have done right there differently. So very well played by our Legion team, and the portal key right away coming into use as a result of that.
Yeah, I just hope that VtrL keeps their composure. Like, yes, Magnus does have a very, very early portal key. Like, I can imagine in their Skype, it's, oh my god, he's a portal key this early? But just keep your composure. You got a Silhouette farming, and I really wish that Mikey's had placed a ward for him here, because Silhouette is most likely going to fall here. The slow coming out, the nuke coming out from Plague. He's able to tree grapple and get away maybe, but Slicks is there around from behind. Ports come out, please. Ports come out, please. No ports coming out to help him out. And that's not what they need. They need to defend their carry, if not with a ward, at least with some ports.
Yeah, and I'm looking the only one with the Homecoming Stone at the time was actually Silhouette. I think Cthulhu Font just purchased his from the side shop. So, yeah, they didn't even have an option to port there because of that. But yeah, you saw it coming. We both saw it coming, and sure enough, it happened right there. It seemed like he may have been able to escape, but obviously that was just a great setup by TteS Sports. It was an excellent flank setup from Slicks there on Moraxis, figuring he was going to try to tree grapple away. Sure enough, dove him and got the easy kill. So, yeah, if you're VtrL, like you can't let that happen. You got to be careful. You got to be, still stay in the game and be fine and just make sure to protect Zaxxerok there on Silhouette, get her the farm that she needs. Now, Fade here running into the creep wave. She has her ultimate form activated, but it was attacking her, so she can safely assume a counter ward was there, which would be correct. So,
well, actually, she didn't ult. She has an Invis rune. So her ultimate is still available.
That makes sense, actually, yeah.
But that's actually good, because now she knows that she can't really do anything there, and she's not going to waste the ult now, I would hope, in this top lane. But yeah, I really think that Mikey's needed some sort of ward here to help out Silhouette there. Now, Silhouette does make her way into the mid lane. This is the beauty of Silhouette, though. What I really wish that VtrL would do is spread out the farm. Have maybe this Fade top or maybe a bubble or something, and Silhouette just farm in the jungle. They don't really have, Bryce is kind of jungling, but he's doing it in the opposite jungle right now. So Silhouette could take advantage of that and actually just massively farm up in the jungle and leave that farm mid for someone else, Maybe in Luna, maybe Bubbles.
Remember, they triple stacked the Ancients early on as well, so I wonder if that's something that they can look to invest to early on. Sure, again, she wouldn't be able to solo it by any means,
right.
But getting some help from the Bubbles, from the Cthulhu Font even, and maybe be able to get some good farm out of that as well. So
yeah, definitely that would be a smart thing. It's 2 Predator camps and a Dragon, so it's going to be relatively easy to kill if they get some people over there. And I agree with you. I think that's something that they should do right away. And Fade, I really think that Fade could be a bit more active too. She's got some decent levels, and she doesn't need that many more. Actually, stun coming up from Moraxis, but it does miss. But yeah, I definitely think Fade could be a little bit more active here.
Yeah, I don't think Fade realizes how close she was to death right there. if that Quake Stun hit, Plaguewater would have followed up with a nuke on top of her ultimate most likely. Granted, Fade does have her ultimate for the Invis, so maybe that would have been the difference maker. She ports to the bottom lane, and here we go. Speaking of being more active, she comes down here. She has about 16 seconds left on it while it's active. So are they going to be able to dive this? This is going to be close. They have a word of sight, obviously realizing the Magnus is here, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to effectively open right here. As again, great play actually by Magnus and Torture, just hugging this tower, realizing that something's up. So the Fade ultimate, unfortunately, not really used for much right there. as they're just going to start to fall back and continue to farm in the meantime. So again, good patience there between Magnus and Torturer. While Moraxis continues to farm the top lane, he is now past the 300 gold per minute mark, and he himself has about 1,100 gold saved up. So he is definitely working towards his portal key, already with the Steam Boots power supply and early Mystic Vestments here early on.
Yeah, I mean, that was just good presence of mind, as you would say, that the bottom lane being able to, they didn't actually have any wards or even vision of that happening.
Oh man, middle lane, actually a lot of ports coming in. Fade was in the foreground. She's going to end up dying right here, no doubt. That will be the only death though, and honestly that is very good news right there for Vitriolic, because Silhouette was also pushed up, and if she got caught too, that would have been horrible for Vitriolic. But still, a great kill coming up from TTE Sports. A lot of ports used. They got the kill though, and now they're going to be able to counter push this middle lane themselves. But we do have TTE or Vitriolic setting up somewhat of a defense. They got a level 6 bubbles. Now they will need Cthulhuphon here, no doubt, if they actually want to ultimately defend this tower. So we'll see if he comes in time. Now, Fade has Resurrection in 5 seconds as well, and I believe they do have Invulnerability. So, yeah, there we go with Invulnerability. I'm expecting Fade's going to be porting in probably to the secondary tower back here. Or maybe she's just going to run, actually, as they're not committing to a push. So, it's not going to be a tower kill in the end. So, again, good kill by TTE Sports, but definitely could have been worse for Vitriolic right there.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking at Bryce or Emperor right now. Push up the top lane. He's going to be able to get good pressure here while they're pushing up the mid, but I don't know if they're actually going to defend this. Like, Silhouette's bottom. She does have a port. She has 2, actually, but the glyph is down, I believe. Actually, the ports are coming. Bubbles comes in with the kelp field. It will be used. Stun coming out onto 2 right there. I'll let you take over, Breaky.
There we go. Obliterate activated. Trying to finish off Magnus. Not going to be enough, though. In comes the turnaround. Chain reactions come out. There's the Meraxis explosion. Gets the kill. Eruption. Portal key from Magnus. And the turnaround is complete from TTE Sports. Plague Rider nukes down Bubbles right there. And Aluna just trying to do something. The snipe, not enough to take out Magnus. He barely survives. It's a genocide for TTE Sports. And they get the tower. Oh my god. How did that fight go that way? I honestly don't know. Now, I will say Cthulhuphon, he only hit 1 target, it looked like, and it was Moraxis. Now, I think he only had, you could argue he should have gone for Magnus right there instead of Moraxis, but still, you know, again, hindsight's 2020, well played by TTE Sports, and wow, this game is now completely different.
I just think they're choosing fights too early, if you know, or even just the wrong fights. They don't need to be fighting right now. Again, this team makeup is extremely early to mid game of a team makeup, and they're very strong. Right now, they have a lead, so you have really no business in fighting a team fight right now. With this kind of hero makeup, especially when they were, you know, at a disadvantage, they need to just be getting pickoffs. They can just concede towers. It's okay to lose towers, as I've said before many times. It's okay to lose towers, just as long as you're doing something else in another lane. You know, getting resources, expanding your resources, getting some map control if you can't defend those pushes, and that's fine. But right now, against this team, especially now, they can't take a team fight at all. I mean, Magnus is level 11. They got portal key on him. Helm of the Black Legion, actually, on Slicks, he did not decide to go for that early portal key. I don't know if I agree with that. I like the aggression if you couple the portal key with Magnus. But I don't think it really matters. What matters is that they're an early game team and they have the lead, and they're just going to keep pressing on.
Yeah, this is safe to say exactly where Vitriolic did not want to be. They, with TTE Sports having that lead. I mean, Cthulhuphon here at the top, and he's actually in a lot of trouble. In comes the support. A lot of ports are coming in. Cthulhuphon dropping quickly. The Plague will it bounce back? He's going to trample. He says, I don't care. He misses the trample, though. The Impalement is going to finish him off. The Plague was still bouncing around. Bubbles will fall in the background. Kelfield goes down. But again, that was just fairly sloppy coming out from Vitriolic. Fade is going to get picked off. Aluna is just hoping to maybe snipe out somebody, but it's not going to happen. In fact, Magma's portal keys in. He's got a Lava Surge in 4 seconds. He might not even need it. Aluna is no doubt dead herself. Another 4 kills happening. They're also going to get the tower most likely. Now, Silhouette, she is pushing the middle lane in the meantime, as we'll see what she can make happen here. But, man, this Legion team right now in TTE Sports, 10,000 golden experience lead. After that tower kill right there, it's just getting ugly for Vitriolic. They're already down 1-0. It's getting to a point where they're gonna need to start praying to the Han gods to try to get something to come back in this game, because TTE Sports just looks really good right now.
Yeah, and I want to give one word out that I actually the bracket I did post on Ghost of Gamers is the correct one. So just want to make that clear.
All right. About that.
The one posted that we show on Honcast here is incorrect. Refer to the Ghost of Gamers for my real bracket.
Well, no. Definitely not how it works. No. Yeah. I see what you did there.
No, I think that and this is why I said most games here, unfortunately, in Han really do go to 2-0 because teams honestly just get too flustered. I really feel that way. I think after a I mean, last game honestly was quite a stomp. They looked good on paper. I mean, the heroes, the lineup looked in favor of VtrL, but you know, it was a quick stomp, and that really takes a toll on a team's morale. It really does.
Yeah.
And that's why more times than not we'll see series like this, even at the top level, go 2-0, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, you're right, and it does show. I mean, at the group stages, we actually did have a lot of 2-0 victories throughout that period. Now, VtrL, they're going to pause here, so whether or not this is more of a strat pause or maybe just a bathroom break or whatever, but hopefully not going to last too long. Now, I will say, going back to history, speaking of when they defeated TteS Sports, they did lose the first game against them as well. And they happen to come back in Game 2 and then obviously Game 3 to win that series. So that was one of the rare occasions where a team came back from being down 1-0, and they ended up winning the series 2-1. So at least in that sense, history is on the side of VtrL. But yeah, it's I think also that game was a little bit different. They also happen to have a War Beast in that game, and obviously we know about Bryce playing as War Beast. So yeah, this game a little bit different. This lead is just so huge right now. You really got to think, I mean, if you're VtrL, they really maybe only have one more fight left in them, and depending on how that goes, the game could definitely be over from there. Triple Stacked Ancients, they've been here since the beginning of the game. It looks like they're attempting to do with them a little bit at least. Maybe getting them damaged. I think that's what Bubbles is doing right here. Kind of doing some damage, going to use a Shell Surf on them and maybe sit it up for Silhouette to eventually go in. But Fade at the bottom lane, no, he's going to be fine. I noticed you're actually taking up some the other game there. Do you have any updates, actually?
Yeah, actually, Clan Milk lost the first game to
Wow.
TDM. TDM, it looked like they went for, again, Minos really loves to play Fade, and he did go for a Fade pickup as well as Fade Tundra, and even Silhouette. Now I look at that draft, I'm like, how did they get that? So, yeah. But we do have a game here, so...
Oh, I'm sorry. This bottom lane, that was hilarious. They were trying to gank Fade. He was barely able to get the ultimate off in time, despite this revelation. Of course, he could run through the trees and everything. And Glacius was even using the Glacial Downpour right there, just trying to luckily snipe him out, but wasn't anywhere close. Fade was able to survive in the end and port back to base. Now, this Triple Stacked Ancient, Bubbles actually ended up taking them out himself. They also get the top tower, but they lose the middle tower in the meantime, and they're most likely going to lose this bottom tower. So a lot of things happening within really a 10-second span right there as far as golden experience swinging going on. But still, by a lot, in fact, remains in favor of TteS Sports. But I'm a little bit curious about that, how Bubbles was the hero of choice to actually clean up the Triple Stacked Ancients from the beginning of the game. But he's, that is good for him. He's just kind of jumped up a little bit. He was able to finish a steam boost there. But another tower push coming. Is this going to be really a second tower kill? Port coming in. That is such a dangerous port, though, by Cthulhu. He was all by himself. It looks like he's going to be fine, though, for now. But Morax is going to jump in. A great jump right there. Magmus, the Song of the Secret is answer for now. Cthulhu trampling away. The Plague is bouncing around in the background. The Bubbles in a lot of trouble in the foreground. Cthulhu still well alive. Obliterate's activated, and he's trying to tear up this Legion team, actually, but still nobody is dead. Cthulhu needing to fall back now. Aluna gets picked up. Cthulhu a great trample, but not going to really make anything of it. The Burning Shadow's on top. Now they kill Plague, but our Silhouette joins the party, actually, and Silhouette doing a good amount of damage right there when it's all said and done. Magmus still eruption back in with the Lava Surge. No, he doesn't have a Lava Surge. Not even necessary, though. Down goes Silhouette and Fade. Oh, she's on top of a Warden Revelation. She gets the Cone of Glacius, but at what cost right there? Fade will fall. Double tap for Slicks, and another Genocide. Yeah.
That's actually a very interesting fight. Well played by certain members, but it's just the fact that, Legion team has way more farm than you, so they should be winning these fights, no matter how well you play it. So it's just unfortunate that TteS Sports is doing a good job about pressing that lead. They're not letting up against a Silhouette because they do have the harder carry on VtrL, and so TteS Sports is playing this correctly right now. And now a lot of farm on some of these heroes. I mean, Slicks has about 3k gold pooled up. He just bought an Arcana, so probably going for that Hellflower. And then a Barrier Idol finish on a Magmus.
Jeez.
So those are some big pickups. Also, Helm of the Black Legion is finished on a Plague Rider there. So Plague Rider is quite tanky. Helm of the Black Legion and Strider's combination, very, very standard. Not really, but fun to watch.
This is a portal key now.
Yep.
And he will be set, yeah. All across the board here on the Legion team. I mean, everything is just adding up, really, for them. And again, as we stress from the hero selection stage, this is really a mid-game victory team here for TteS Sports. And we definitely are entering that stage now if we haven't hit it already. Here, 24 minutes into the game. and it really is showing. I mean, that last fight, it did look like VtrL may have had a little bit of a chance there at the end with Silhouette finally joining the party, but still wasn't enough. CthulhuFont gets jumped in the middle and completely locked down, cannot even trample away right there. That's how much lockdown happened, and he eventually falls. I was wondering a little bit what Emperor was doing pushed up, honestly, so far. Definitely seemed like a case of being a little bit too confident in what we saw right there. He was not able to tank it all, unfortunately. So TteS Esports, they will keep this push going. Another tower kill. That is, what, 5 tower kills here. The goal lead just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Zaxarok doing everything that he can to farm here on Silhouette, but, I mean, still, it's only 279 gold per minute. That's nothing. That really is nothing in a game like this. They need a lot more out of her to be successful, honestly. So a Legion team is going to start even pressuring the base a little bit here. Although not going to no, they are going to commit to it. It looks like Astral, or that was the Astrolabe used. Yeah, they do have a barrier auto, remember, as you mentioned. So they could definitely look to use that. In fact, there we go. And they're going to push the tower right now. So VtrL has a big decision to make right here. But, you know, what can they do? They can't do team fights, really. Now, Shrunken was just finished on Silhouette. So maybe this is the one last stand here for VtrL.
It's going to have to be. I mean, I really don't think they have much left to offer in this game. It's a very unfortunate. Fade, the pickup, I mean, I love the hero, but I just don't think that it really played an impact this game. Now, lots of sentries and Words of Revelation are coming out from TteS Esports. Stun actually coming out from CthulhuFont. I'll let you take over, Breaky.
There we go. Jump on a Plague Rider. Kelfield coming out. Moraxis stunned, but he got hit by the Burning Shadow, but the Eruption, the level 2 Eruption from Magnus. Lava Surge in the background, doing a lot of damage. Silhouette standing your ground. She did have the Shrunken Head activated, and they are able to take a Torture, but now the more damage coming out. Magnus has a stun. Not going to use it, though. Silhouette will survive, as you see Fade and CthulhuFont off to the side. Moraxis jumping, though, into Silhouette. Just Tree Apple. Not able to pour it in time. Well played by Slicks right there. Magnus helps to finish off Luna, and now CthulhuFont running back in. He lands a great trample once again, but where is the follow-up? Fade is running in. Burning Shadow sits Glacius, but a nice job with the barrier auto right there. Going to be fine. CthulhuFont very likely going to fall. Yes, there's the Quake Stun jump from Moraxis. CthulhuFont goes down. Fade will fall, and yet again, another Genocide champion in with the Slicks. The GG well plays are called, and TteS Esports has taken out VtrL 2-0 here at the quarterfinals of the DreamHoN Summer Championships.
Yeah, well played by TteS Esports. They had a very, very aggressive lineup, actually both games. And that seems to be their style. I see them run less hard carry type style of what Complexity does, and more this early game grouping up together kind of strategy. They really like that early game. So heroes like Torture and Magnus, Moraxis, they do like that as well. And it works out for them, and it definitely worked out this series, so well played by them. Again, the first game, though, I really, really preferred VtrL's lineup. That was just really hard to watch because I definitely think they drafted way better. Just as something as simple as a difference in lane opinion could have completely changed the game.
Yeah, that was a very interesting series right there. I'm not going to lie. I really was expecting it to be a lot closer in that sense, and I think a lot of people out there perhaps were expecting the same. I think sure, I had TteS Esports winning in my bracket, but, I thought it was going to be a 2-1 series, if anything, very, very close, but no, TteS Esports, and I really do think, as questionable as maybe some of the decisions VtrL was making, I think you got to give all the credit to TteS Esports. This is a team, as you said, and I do agree with you. I mean, going into this, obviously with them losing right off the bat to VtrL, in even results before that, it just seems like they've been practicing as much as we used to see them. I mean, they've been a little bit shaky, but this is a team that does have plenty of experience amongst their players. They know what it's like to be in crunch time. They know what it's like to advance on in these big-time tournaments. And I think that was almost the case of that right here tonight. They really did kind of show that they have that experience, and they used that against VtrL right here, taking them out 2-0 in what was a pretty quick series, I must say.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. But I do want to bring back some of those interesting arrows coming out from WTF in the first game. I mean, if that doesn't scream rusty, I don't. That was some pretty questionable arrows coming out, and you got to think if that was against a team that was maybe a little bit higher caliber, I want to say. I mean, or against in a game that was much closer. Those are crucial mistakes, and hopefully he can get some more games in there and be more comfortable with that.
Oh, yeah, no, I think you're right. Like, if this was Complexity that they were playing, definitely could have been a little bit different.
Those are mistakes that you cannot make at the very, very top level. So hopefully, but as a team, I agree with you. I think they're playing better. So,
Yeah, it was. That was definitely a very interesting series to watch, and you know, it is kind of unfortunate from a spectator point of view that it did happen so quickly. But again, you got to give credit to TTE Sports right there, and they're moving on. But I will say this much: now this sets up a great matchup here in the winners bracket semifinals, which we are going to be covering tomorrow. Complexity is going to be taking on TTE Sports now tomorrow, and that's definitely the match we're going to be covering there. And boy, am I excited for that one. That is going to be a lot of fun there. So, TTE Sports, as you said, maybe a little bit of rust showing, especially on WTF with some of those arrows. Can't have that tomorrow against Complexity. Nope. They will definitely make you pay for missing those arrows if that happens to be the case. So, boy, that is setting up a great matchup, though. Of course, it's Gosu. They are waiting for their opponent in Clan Milk versus Trademark. And actually, I am monitoring the game right now. It does look like Trademark Esports is somewhat up here in game number 2. Now, again, it's only about 20 minutes in. So it is still fairly early on, but yeah, still definitely plenty of game to go, I'm sure. But Clan Milk, as you mentioned, they lost the first game, so Trademark Esports up 1-0. Definitely keeping a close eye on that to see how that one plays out. So really, really interested for that. But, you know, once that one's finished, then, of course, we will have our quarterfinal results. And that'll set up for tomorrow, which both the losers bracket first round and then, of course, the winners bracket semifinals is going to be taking place. Again, every single day. This is a continuous tournament. There's no more breaks from here on out. Yep. Every single day all the way until August 30th, I believe it is, which is next Thursday, is when the grand finals is. So we'll know who the DreamHoN Summer Champions are in the grand finals from there. So, yeah, I can't wait for that moment, Trev.
Yeah, I know. It's coming up really, really quickly. And, yeah, about this game is for Clan Milk. Are we gonna jump into this or do we not know yet?
You know what? We were actually talking about that, and let's go ahead and do it. Why the hell not? Let's go ahead and jump into the game using our tools here that allow us to do so. As far as
it's right in the middle of the game, so it's gonna feel a little disjunct. But
yeah, obviously this isn't like your normal cast by any means in that sense. But hey, we do have a way to get into the game, not to brag or anything, but it's a kind of a helpful tool for if we get in a case like this where maybe a series happen a little bit quicker, we can jump into another game and see how things are going. So actually, I just entered the game. So Clan Milk versus Trademark Esports, as you can see here, guys. We may not have the UI for it, obviously, not the biggest deal in the world as far as the interface goes, but hey, you can see the teams and everything, so that's really what matters.
And Clan Milk, again, did lose the first game,
yes.
So they're down 1. They have to win this to actually go to a best-of-3 series and, potentially take the series. So they really need this win. Looking over the lineup really quickly, they have Tundra, Meraxis, Dark Lady, Glacius, and Tempest.
That's a powerful lineup.
It is very powerful, but it looks like they kind of lost a little bit early game, because if you look at the Hellborn team, they have Fade, Bubbles, Illuna, Torturer, Corrupted Disciple, so much early game potential there. And actually, Corrupted Disciple, being played by Noob G, is quite farmed. He has 427 gold per minute. He likes to go that Nullstone, it looks like. He went that last time we casted him, and he is very, very farmed. Now, Nullstone, I actually don't like that pickup really here at all. It's against a Tundra. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that pickup, but regardless, he's very farmed. He's doing well. He's level 15, but there is a Dark Lead on the side as well as the Tundra. So
yeah, and actually, Noob Gia, by the way, this is definitely a player that obviously, again, he has been around the scene for a little bit, but I have been really impressed with his play lately. I think he is a big reason for TDM's success. He is their go-to carry player, seems like. I remember when they played against DDoS, that last series that we casted at them, he did very well all throughout that series, from what I recall. So I think he played it like a... he played Draconis one game that actually didn't go too well, but I think he also played a Corrupted Disciple actually in that series, just like he was playing here, and he did very well on that. So, yeah, he's definitely been doing well for TDM, but yeah, again, looking at the overall picture, it seems like right now Trademark Esports does have an early lead here. Again, we're only 24 and a half, really 25 minutes into the game. Got about 6,500 gold lead, 4,000 experience lead in favor of Trademark. And overall, nothing too bad going on, actually. You pull up the gold per minute chart, it seems to be a pretty good spread over here on the Hellborn side. So Corrupted Disciple, sure, he's farmed, but it's not like it's only a one-man team like we talked about earlier today. So doing good. Now, Tempest does have his portal key, it looks like, so that's good news for our Legion side. You mentioned Dark Lady, who actually just finished her Rune Cleaver. So Sham's actually here playing the Dark Lady, so playing that carry role. We'll see how her farm gets amplified as a result of that. So Clan Milk, it seems like right now they kind of needed to get into mode of maybe calming things down a little bit, allowing Dark Lady to farm, but at the same time, they do have a very aggressive team. They have 2 portal keys. You would think there's soon to be a third on Tundra. Now, Kongor is being attempted here from Trademark Esports. Yeah, and they definitely know. They got the Hawk over here and the Shiver. So will they go? Oh, the Dark Lady, cover of darkness right here. Here we go. Here's a big chance. There goes a stop in from Miraxis. Corrupted Disciple standing his ground, though. They cannot follow it up effectively. Glacius comes in with a freeze, but Corrupted Disciple still alive. There's the cold shoulder. Where is Dark Lady? She's beating on a Fade in the background. Finally get the kill. Tundra will fall, but Corrupted Disciple still well alive. TteS has an ultimate. TteS has an open. TteS with the ultimate. Dark Lady tearing through them. Torture will end up falling right here, most likely. There we go. What an ultimate from TteS coming out, being played by Mookies, and Limp will have to fall back. So very good stall right there from Clan Milk. Corrupted Disciple, though, he bought back, and Congo is so close to that. Everyone buys back. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Corrupted and Torture buy back, as well as Fade even. So they want to really secure this Congo kill, and it looks like they're going to get it because of that. So you can say pretty good use of the buybacks right there.
Yeah, I really hope they don't dive in to actually try to get sneak this Congo kill, because they're all going to die. That's what happens when you sacrifice all those buyouts. That was 3 buyouts right there, I believe. They do finally get the Congo kill. That's good for them. A lot of kind of horrible play right there. A couple things to note. That the biggest thing to stand out is Shams, after he got the kill onto Fade, just kind of stood there for a while and didn't decide what to do and just killed the Bound Eye. Now that's 700 gold that you could be using against the Fade, not to mention counter wording. I mean, that is... I mean, I know you're in the heat of a team fight right there, but you have an item slot available. You can just pick it up. So I don't know about that one. Also, Limp, big mistake there. The really, really good Tempest ultimate coming out got 3 heroes. Limp pushed out his ally instead of just pushing out the Tempest to cancel the ultimate.
Oh.
So it was a very big mistake right there. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, that was definitely a well-placed ultimate at the same time, though, by Mookies. I mean, you can think maybe that even was a misclick coming
Could've
out
been,
from Limp,
yeah.
though. I mean, again, when they're so clustered like that,
Right.
like you said, you're in the heat of the battle.
Yes, it could've
sometimes
been.
that happens. So, but Corrupted Disciple going to clean up what looked like to be double-stacked Ancients over here. You mentioned he's the one that got the Token of Life eventually. Now, so how effective were those? But do you think those buybacks actually allowed TDM to ultimately win that fight because they got the Congo kill after that?
Yes, I think they were very necessary buyouts, especially
Okay.
when Congo was so low like that. If you're able to, if you lose a team fight like that and then the other team gets Congo, that's pretty huge. So I definitely think the buyouts were worth it.
Yeah. All right, so again, it seems like we joined at a pretty good time with that said. That was quite the epic fight to kind of jump into. So, but Trademark Esports, you know, for them, it's about perhaps getting Corrupted Disciple. I'm guessing going to be, well, actually, it could be a Frostburn. We'll see where he goes after that Firebrand pickup. Has about 1,900 gold saved up after this Catman champion at 1960. So again, we'll see. Mighty Blade picked up on Dark Lady. So obviously, a Shrunken Head on her could be a valuable choice. And I talked about Tundra getting a portal key would give them a 3rd portal key here on the Legion team, and that's just a lot of jump potential. Now, Fade is going to open on a Tundra right here, so Minot's going for a kill. In comes a snipe as well from Bubbles. I don't even think that hit, actually. That was all just actually Fade, who had a double damage rune.
Yeah.
Yeah, no assist even came out. So, good job by Fade. Again, being played by Minot. He seems like he's having a fairly decent game so far. A little 3, 4, and 6, so a little bit on and off there. But Hellborn team, they're going to group up now and try to make a push with this Tundra dead, it looks like.
Yeah, and I wish I could have seen how the lanes were set up early on from Clan Milk. It seems quite obvious, though. Maybe like a Suicide Tundra, a Glacius Tempest, TDL Pseudo Trilink bottom, and then a Miraxis mid. But the Pseudo Trilink bottom doesn't work that well with Tempest because of this aggressive lineup that came from TDM. I suspect that maybe they did some sort of manning up and actually went up against the tri-lane, something we see, unfortunately, no one do against Complexity. But they got it right, and I'm just speculating here. I don't know for sure, by the way. So someone's going to watch the replay and be like, "You're an idiot, Charles." I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm just assuming that's what happened.
No problem with speculating, especially in this case. So
Yeah.
yeah, though, again, right now, though, it seems like Trademark Esports, they do have a comfortable thing going. Now, obviously, the downside of using all those buybacks, if it does happen to get to a very late game stage, and honestly, with this matchup here, not only the teams, but the heroes that both teams have, it could definitely get to that point. So, Trademark Esports will be down a buyback on most of their heroes because of that. It looks like Moraxis did use a buyback. I don't know if that was actually during that fight or earlier on. I didn't necessarily catch that, but he definitely is down one as well as Fade, Torturer, and Corrupt Disciple, of course, over there on the Hellboard side. So, but again, it seems like a farming game right now after that Congar fight, about 30 minutes in. Now, Corrupt Disciple, he has about just over 3 minutes remaining on that Token of Life, so we'll see if Trademark Esports really looks to use that. They still have a couple of outer towers they could destroy, both the top and the bottom lane. So we'll see at the very least if they look to do that with the Token of Life. But, you know, the more time they wait, the more time it's giving this Clan Milk team to kind of recover a little bit. Mookie's on TteS, getting him a shrunken head is definitely his goal for him, I would think. And same thing for Dark Lady. I believe she purchased the Warhammer, so it's just a matter of saving up that 1,300 gold for the shrunken head pattern now. Now Fade continuing to play active, it looks like. He is roaming around and he's going to run right into Dark Lady. The power throw misses, unfortunately, so it's definitely not going to be a kill. And Dark Lady should be able to charging strikes away, as we see right there. So good job, as both Corrupted Disciple and Torture were coming in. So very smart move there from Shams.
Well, thank God for that ward from Creams, too, up there, kind of to the left of where we normally see it. Had that not been there, I guarantee Shams would have manned up. I guarantee Shams would have manned up, and he would have died. So, but he saw the support coming, and he knew, rightfully so, to back off. So, good word there. Yeah, Shrunken Head very, very close to be finished on Dark Lady, as well as it's actually quite close to be finished on to TteS as well. Yeah, I hate that. I don't know what it is about that skin, but I constantly hear it like go off.
Oh, the more access?
Yeah, I think he's ulting. I'm thinking a team fight's about to happen. But
he's an angry fellow. In fact, something may be happening right here. Ooh, I thought they were going to go Corrupted again. He has a Token of Life. Max has definitely thought about it, but not going to go in just yet. And Dark Lady, of course, she is very close to a Shrunken Head, actually. This is a very risky move right here. Corrupted Disciple at the front lines. They get the Nullstone deactivated. In comes Bubbles with that Calfut. A big fight going to be happening. You see Morax is doing what it can. Tundra doesn't even get off the Avalanche. He loses the bound die. Now Bubbles will get jumped by Dark Lady, so they pick up a kill there, but there goes the kill on Morax. The Shrunken Head Torture did a lot of damage. TteS jumped in, but he wasn't able to do anything. His ultimate got canceled immediately. Down goes Dark Lady, and a quad kill coming out for Noob G. What was Clan Milk thinking right there? Especially with Dark Lady so freaking close to the Shrunken Head. It looks like she ended up purchasing it just before she died, but she didn't have it in that team fight.
Did she purchase it?
Because she definitely did. I mean, unless she bought something else. She had 1,200 and something gold.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought she only had like 600 for some reason. But well, thank God for that. But yeah, that is just horrible. I mean, does he still have the token, or did he lose? No, he still has a token for 59 seconds. He's going to tank this tower and just try to suicide himself. And that's going to give him completely full HP. Yeah, right here, he's just going to suicide himself with the tower. And very, very smart play there by Noob G. He's going to have full everything when he comes back. And he actually even walks back at times. I like the way he plays that. And, oh, that was so horrible for them. I feel like they should just be really passive until they get the Shrunken Heads up. A Deny coming, oh, actually an ulti coming out here, the Torturer. Ports coming in. Are they going to be able to fight this? I think so. I hope so. I'll let you take over yet again.
TteS doesn't have an ultimate, though, so Moraxis in the midst of it all. Glacius and Tundra did just like that. Dark Lady is up. There goes the Shrunken Head. She does have it now. She's going to join the party. Corrupted Disciple manning up big time right here. It's going to be risky, though. Corrupted Disciple will definitely fall, so Noob G getting a little bit too cocky there and actually gives Shams a 550 gold bonus as a result of that kill. Now, Fade is right next to Water Revelation. She has no clue. Moraxis jumps, but Fade is able to run away before Moraxis can chase her down. So that is the good news, at least in the end there, as small as it is for Clan Milk. But they do get the kill on the Corrupted Disciple. You look at the overall picture, though. Of course, they lost the melee racks. They lost a lot of heroes right there. And the lead is just that much bigger now in favor of Trademark Esports. 15,000 goal lead, 14.4 thousand experience lead on top of that. So, yeah, that was a hell of a push from Trademark, but it all started with the very questionable initiation there by Clan Milk. I still, again, he was literally 50 gold away or something like that from a Shrunken Head, and they chose to initiate that fight, and it wasn't even the prettiest initiation. It wasn't like that sweet spot, like, oh, we have to take this because it's just perfect. It just really felt forced there from Clan Milk, and you got to wonder if maybe that was miscommunication, that he just didn't really inform them, or they weren't aware of that, or whatever. So, yeah, unfortunate news there.
I mean, I really think they should just waited for especially a Shrunken Head on TteS, because there is nothing that can stop it. If you get a Shrunken Head on TteS, he gets a good ultimate. There's no one that can cancel that. They can maybe push book their teammates out, but that's about it. So definitely a Shrunken Head should become on the TteS. And actually, now that I look at Cookies' farm on Tundra, he has nothing. He has Steam Boots, I mean, he's got your basic items, but this is 35 minutes we're talking. And yeah, I'm assuming he did go in that suicide role, and maybe I was wrong and they actually went for suicide Bubbles in this game, because he has nothing. And that's really, really bad for them. You would hope to at least have a portal key on him by this time, but...
Yeah, there's a bound eye sitting here, by the way, still.
Yeah.
They noticed that. They just ran right past it. I mean, come on. You had to see that. There's no way they didn't. Okay.
What?
Is it really hidden? Is that thing really hidden? There was two heroes that literally ran on top of it. And they're just leaving it there.
Maybe they think it's a hatchet. I don't
Oh
know.
boy, that's kind of a big deal. Now
Fade
the
in the
Shiver-
game. Bound Eye. No, thank
no,
you.
No, we don't need that.
Oh my
That's
God.
useless. We'll go ahead and just leave that puppy there. Maybe
Well,
they're going to use
you know,
it
it'd be
as
the icing on the cake is if they bought a Bound Eye right now.
that would be hilarious.
I would leave this building.
If Tundra,
I'm not
it's
kidding.
700
if
gold.
they buy a Bound Eye, I'm leaving the building. I'm going to.
just walk out. Just take off the headphones, drop them, and just walk out. Like like the gangster that you are. No, that would be something. But I almost wonder if they're purposely keeping it there for baiting purposes, which that doesn't even make sense. So I just trying to think logically, but yeah,
They must not. They just must not. Have
I think it
seen
literally comes down
but
to they just
they ran
didn't
right
see
by it. So yeah, I don't know.
You see Fade coming down here. This is going to be hilarious. Fade's probably going to end up picking it up. Oh, she has a Bound Eye herself actually, but she's going to probably see it and be like, "Hey, Bound Eye destroyed."
Yeah.
Oh god, I just can't believe that. Anyways, the Hellborn team. Speaking of that, they got a gank squad going out. We got Fade, Bubbles, and a Luna trying to find somebody. But this is Tundra for you, using the Shiver, gonna scout out himself. Now he's almost dying right there. Is that? Yep, the Shell Surf. Whoa, that's a big radius with that Shell Surf, but it does hit the Shiver and get him taken out. So Dark Lady has a Abyssal Skull now. On top of that Shrunken Head, you got a Barrier Idol on Moraxis actually. So these items are starting to look pretty good. And Shrunken Head, does he have enough gold? He just purchased a Warhammer, but did he sell it right away? Is he going for something else now? On Tempest, he has 2,200 gold, so...
Something tells me if he actually bought it, there's no way he had 3,800.
Yeah,
gold.
so he probably just sold it, maybe wanted to make sure he has buyback for now. And for good reason, because it looks like there's a possible... there's definitely a Conqueror kill happening. And unless they start hitting there right now, this is going to be a Conqueror kill. They have no clue. Oh, this is going to be so close again. They're going to run past some more sites, of course, so TDM will definitely spot this. Now, they're not fully committing to it. It's almost as if they're baiting them to come out. Shiver's coming over, but it's not going to be in time. There goes the kill. Token of life on Corrupted Disciple, who, by the way, has a Savage Mace.
That's game over. Honestly, there's nothing that CM can do. He can just go in, be crazy. He's got that Savage Mace. He's going to do so much damage. Torture, by the way, has 5k gold pooled up. And he can just go nuts. He can just go crazy and not have a care in the world. He's going to do so much damage. Like we said before in that game yesterday, Tempest is going to have to get all 5 in his ult at least 4 times this game.
Yeah. No big deal.
No big deal, Mookies.
It's Mookies. Mookies is a good player. He's got this. Yeah, that's a big deal. 16.5 thousand goal leads, 16.5 thousand experience lead. Frostfield Plate just finished on Torturer, actually. That's when you know you're pretty well off. Papa McDad here playing that Torturer, looking pretty good. You got Aluna, Corrupt Disciple, and Bubbles pushing out this top lane. Now, again, the only outer tower left is at the top side, so it makes sense why Trademark Esports is up here doing a bit of push. Man, look at Cribs. Not to point him out or anything, but I guess after I say that, I'm going to do that. He's still level 8. That's just, 38 minutes in. That's unfortunate, to say the least. Experience per minute, not doing too well. It is Glacius after all, but still kind of a sucky situation for him. Dark Lady hasn't purchased anything since the Abyssal Skull, sitting on about 860 gold. Makes me wonder if she did buy something that's in her stash, or if she just is not going that well with her farm. I mean, she's farming 363 gold per minute, but man, look at that Corrupt Disciple, 548 GPM. He has 2,800 gold, so even if he somehow dies after the Token of Life, he still will be able to buy back. Yeah, they're going to need to literally kill him 3 times consecutively if they want to be able to make something happen. Oh, mouse freaking out right there. So here we go with the Hellborn team making a push in Trademark Esports, applying pressure to the last outer tower. And I think this is the right decision for Clan Milk to not really push it. And they're going to fall back. Now, what do you think of Tundra, by the way, going for a puzzle box instead of a portal key?
Well, I think at this point it really... Oh, they bought a Bound Eye.
Bought a Bound Eye.
They bought a Bound Eye. I'm done.
Get out, Trelf. Leave. Man, he actually did walk out the room, guys. Trelf is not here anymore. He literally walked out the room.
Oh my God! He bought a Bound Eye. Okay.
Oh boy. Well, here we go. It seems like Corrupted Disciple again. He's very. Oh no, that's an illusion, guys! Oh, they baited on the illusion. Moraxis not gonna drop. He didn't even barrier off. Oh, the Tempest ultimate right there. In comes the Avalanche. In comes Darklet. Can they make something happen? No cover of darkness used yet by Darklet. The Hellborn team. Corrupted Disciple is a freaking turret right now. The quad kill coming out, and if the game wasn't over already, it is 100% over now. Wow, that was a thing of beauty right there. But in the end, the GG Well Plays Trademark Esports has defeated Clan Milk 2-0. I had Clan Milk winning this series 2-0, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to lie. So Trademark Esports, they, at least of what we saw there in the second half of the second game, looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, the Corrupted Disciple pick is looking like a solid pick for them lately.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't get to see the beginning of the game, so we really didn't get to see how the lane's set up. But yeah, I don't know. They looked really good, and it's unfortunate. A lot of these teams, except save Complexity, just can beat each other any given day, any given time. And it's kind of unfortunate you don't have the consistency because you like to be able to pinpoint teams to where they really are. So it's like if you're trying to point a list of top 10, you have Complexity at the top, and then basically 2 through 9 is like you can put anything on it. Or sorry, 2 through 10.
You really can. I mean,
you can put anything.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate you have the consistency, but it's also fun at the same time because you don't know what to expect. So
yeah, it really is. And Trademark Esports, you're right. I mean, for me, obviously they defeated DDoS. We casted that match to get them into the quarterfinals, and that was a big series for them. But Clan Milk, I mean, they've been looking very good themselves. They really have going in. Now, I did say, despite me, see, this was my brackets. I do actually have Clan Milk making it all the way to the grand finals eventually. Now, I obviously have them beating TDM here as well, but even though I had that, I still, in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what, as much as I like Clan Milk, they also are a very inexperienced team when it comes to doing very well in tournaments. They don't have that history of doing very well in tournaments, and I definitely was under the impression that that may affect them. And against TDM here, TDM, a team that's up and down themselves, but again today, of what we saw at least, they did look very good. As you mentioned, Corrupted Disciple seems to be a go-to hero of theirs lately, and Noob G is playing that very, very well. So Trademark Esports is looking pretty good right now, and as a result of that, Trademark will be playing Team It's Gosu now in the winners bracket semifinals, as you can see on your screen. And then that means Clan Milk is actually matched up against Pikachu there in the losers bracket. So of course, all those matches are set to take place tomorrow, both the winners semifinals and the losers bracket first round. So there you go. The next round is upon us. Going to be taking place tomorrow. We will be casting, though, Complexity versus TteS Esports. And again, can't wait for that matchup, Trev.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun to watch. Is that when is that going to be?
Tomorrow. The default time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, that'll be fun.
2100 Central European time.
But Complexity won't drop a game.
They still won't drop a game.
Nope.
Man, they earlier today they played Q Squad. Q Squad definitely gave them a run for their money in that second game. I understand you're trying to be confident there, Trout, but I think you can even admit that it's possible. It's possible.
I didn't have one beat of sweat happen.
Nothing,
game.
right?
They will not drop a game.
Nothing. Wow. Man of his word right there. So we'll see how long that lasts, though. But again, that is going to be exciting. It really is, guys. So for today, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We had plenty of coverage today, that's for sure. One of our most yet. In fact, I believe our most yet for this tournament at least. So really, I do hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow, though, we will be coming back at you once again with the default time, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2100 Central European time. Complexity going to be taking on TteS Esports, guys, in the winners bracket semifinals. Oh my God, the DreamHoN Summer Championships is upon us. We are getting down to the very end. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a great finish here, guys. With that said, I was Breaky CPK. Joining me is Drop Manor. Shout out to Killer Orange as well, our producer. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.